Wow, so I just finished Dragon Ball Super episode 84, and if I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Dragon Ball Super has some of the best fight choreography the Dragon Ball franchise has ever seen. This stuff is amazing. These fights in this episode were awesome. Basically, what happens in this episode is Goku is on the lookout for people to join his team for the Tournament of Power. And obviously, one of his first choices is Krillin. So Goku is off to find Krillin and to see what he's up to. And what Krillin's doing is Krillin's just doing his policing job. He's, saving cats from a tree, beating up burglars, or he's helping old ladies across the street, or whatever. Well, they meet up with him, and he says, "Oh, I have the rest of the day off. I'm not on duty for the rest of the day, so let's hang out." So they go back to Krillin's place, and 18 is there as well. And they ask Krillin to join the team, and Krillin's, kind of risky about it at first, but 18's like, "No, go ahead. It'll be fun. It'll be helpful for you because you have all of the workout equipment upstairs that's really just going to nothing. Like, you're not even putting any use for it." So he's like, "All right, fine, I'll join." So then Goku asks Android 18 to join, and she says no. First of all, there's not even anything in it for me if I win, and second of all, there's nobody to look after Marin. Goku's able to convince her that for the Marin situation, just bring her over to Bulma's. Bulma's got an amusement park and a water park and everything else like that. So she'll have a blast. And for 18, he promises her that there's going to be a 10 million Zenny reward for every participant there. And she kind of, questions him on it, but, she's like, all right, whatever. She ends up suspecting him this whole episode. Every time he says something, she's always like, wait a minute. She can tell he's hiding something. But Gohan actually, before Goku is able to seal the deal with Krillin for him to be a part of the team, Gohan actually interrupts and says, "Krillin, I want to fight you right now." So they go out and they fight in this rocky plains area, and they're doing the Tournament of Power rules, which is if you knock somebody off or ring out or whatever, they lose. And this is a really cool scene because Marin, his daughter, is over there cheering, and then Gohan looks over, and then all of a sudden all you hear is Krillin saying, "Don't get distracted," and then he leaps over. It just starts beating the absolute hell out of Gohan. Gohan blocks everything and then punches him away, of course, but it's just really cool to see Krillin being able to put up a fight against someone like Gohan. Then we get to see Krillin's new technique, the technique that he's been working on. He does the Taioken, the solar flare, but he does a different variation on it. He does the Taioken, or again, the solar flare, times 100. What this does is, like the regular solar flare, it blinds your enemy. What this does is it completely blinds your enemy in all sense of the word. It blinds them via eyesight, and it makes it so that they can't sense your ki, so they don't know where you are. So it's a very interesting development there. And then Gohan is blinded, of course. Krillin ends up going and kicking his ass, and he knocks him off of the cliff, and he almost, falls in the water, but he lands just so much, and he stops himself, but the water still hits the tip of his nose, so that counts as a ring out. Gohan goes up, and he admits defeat. He says, "Krillin, I concede. You bested me." And this is going to actually probably piss off a lot of the Gohan fans or a lot of the other fans, because for some reason, people have this huge hate boner for Krillin. And every time Krillin does anything good or anything cool, people are like, "Man, fuck him, this is a plot hole," or something. And it's like, come on, man, let him have something. But Krillin says, "With my experience and with my skill and with your power, we'll be an unstoppable force together." But then Gohan apologizes and he says, "I'm sorry, I'm very inexperienced, I need more practice." And so Krillin says that together that they'll practice together and they'll become stronger in preparation for the tournament. But Krillin says, "Okay, so I guess that's it. So I guess I'm part of the Tournament of Power." But Goku says, "Not yet. you have one more opponent. And he says, I want you to fight me now, Krillin. Now it's my turn. And so they end up going to the top of I guess this is Hercule's, or Mr. Satan's tower, because he tells Krillin, he says, I talked to Mr. Satan, and he said that we can fight, to our maximum potential up here, so let's go all out. Krillin has a cool flashback sequence of when they first were in the Budokai Tenkaichi together back in the day, remembering back then. And here's also some beautiful fight choreography. Krillin throws a whole bunch of Destructo Discs at Goku. Goku's dodging them. Krillin begins to go for the solar flare, but fakes out Goku because Goku's about to block, and then fires a whole bunch of more Destructo Discs at him. Goku's dodging them, and he gets cut. He literally flips away and fires 2 Ki Blasts, destroying the Destructo Disc. Krillin fires his Energy Blast, trying to get him to go out of bounds. Goku turns into a Super Saiyan, deflecting the blast. This is some awesome, awesome stuff, guys. Goku ends up going Super Saiyan Blue to further try to test Krillin's strength, and this is really cool because Krillin says, I've seen it up close many times, but now that I'm standing against it as an opponent, I can feel its amazing pressure, so he's really starting to sweat over here. Until he starts to hear his daughter begin to call out his name, and he literally stomps his foot down and is like, alright, let's fucking go right now. They end up having a clash, a beam struggle with Kamehamehas. Goku is clearly not going all out here, clearly. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people here saying, wow, Krillin was able to go, put up with a Super Saiyan Blue. But clearly Goku is probably maybe using, 10% of its power here. Maybe. If that. So that's probably why Krillin was able to push it back. But, yeah, they have this beam struggle. And Goku is, like, almost about to kill Krillin, and 18 kicks the beam away, and this is such a really intense scene because Krillin, he falls back and he looks down at his hands, and his hands just won't stop shaking, and he says, wow, it feels like an electric shock, and his hands just won't stop shaking. And we get a really adorable scene of 18 just putting her hand on his hands, trying to get them to stop shaking. It's really cute, but 18 reminds him that this tournament of power isn't one-on-one. This is a battle royale. And she reminds Goku, she says, this isn't a no-rules fight to the death. It's a martial arts tournament with proper rules. This tournament is a battle royale. Then you won't always be fighting one-on-one. She has to remind Goku of this. And Goku literally sits there and is thinking about it. And then Goku ends up de-transforming. And I really love what he says here. He says, it looks like I really didn't understand this tournament. And he says, I really need to learn a lot from you. He says, if I went into this tournament the way that I am right now, I would have lost. He said it was really terrifying. If I had gone into the tournament the way that I did, he said, just imagining what would have happened if I had entered like this is terrifying because of his state of mind, because he completely forgot about how he's fighting more than one opponent and blah 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 blah. And he says he needs to learn a lot from Krillin at 18. So really, people need to give Krillin a lot more things than they should. A really cool touching scene comes right after this when Goku says, Krillin, you really are my best friend. I'm counting on you, Krillin, and you, number 18. And so yeah, so I don't know, people love to shit on Krillin all the time, but Krillin really is an awesome character. He's really strong, and there's a reason why so many people love him as their favorite character. Marin comes along and says, oh, that means Daddy and Mommy won the fight, right? And Goku's like, and Gohan's like, yeah, they won, together. And Goku's like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't lose that. That's not how it works. And Gohan's like, I don't know. But yet, Goku asks 18 if she knows where Android 17 is. He said he's never met him, but he would like him to join. 18 says, last time I talked with him on the phone, he said he was working at a wildlife preserve. She said she didn't ask where, so she doesn't really know where he is. But they suggest that maybe the gods know where he is. And he says, oh, that's a good idea. I'll ask Dende. And I find it really interesting is that now they say there are 38 hours until the tournament begins. So far, every episode has been lasting only an hour. So when Goku finished fighting Toppo, at the end they said there's 40 hours, and then so they went back and they did the whole bra pregnancy birth 1 hour, and then they did this Krillin thing where he goes to Krillin's house 1 hour. So far only 2 hours has passed. I almost find that hard to believe, but I mean, I guess you could do a lot in an hour, I guess. I don't know, I guess just for me lately, an hour has never seemed like that much of time. But, you know, disregard. But this episode was amazing. The new ending theme aired today, and the song is okay, but the animation is really good, because from what I heard from AJ, this ending was supervised by Tadayoshi Yamamuro, who is a huge animation Dragon Ball buff. He did the whole Resurrection F movie. He was the director of that. And next week, it looks like we get a skinny Majin Buu, because Majin Buu's apparently been working out. But I don't know what's going to happen with this, because we see him in the tournament and he's fat again. We also get to see some Universe 11 fighters like Toppo and Jiren. And we get to see the person that looks like Beerus. So I'm excited to see what happens next week. Anyways, guys, I guess I'll catch you guys later. Bye.